Tamburello, a high-speed left-hander at over 190 miles per hour. On lap 7 of the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, the Williams of Ayrton Senna leaves the track and strikes an unprotected concrete wall. In that single moment, the world of motorsport fractures. Millions watch in disbelief as the greatest driver of his generation lies motionless. But to understand why an entire nation wept, why grown men fell to their knees, and why his name still echoes through every corner of Formula One, you have to go back to the beginning. Ayrton Senna da Silva arrives in Formula One in 1984 with Toleman, a small British team no one expects to challenge the frontrunners. But at Monaco, in torrential rain, the 24-year-old Brazilian does something extraordinary. Starting 13th on the grid, he begins picking off car after car. His Toleman dances through the spray while the established champions struggle just to stay on the track. He closes on Alain Prost, leading McLaren at a staggering rate. The stewards controversially red flag the race, denying Senna a near-certain victory. But the message is unmistakable. A phenomenon has arrived. By 1985, Senna moves to Lotus. At Estoril, Portugal, in another rain-soaked race, he doesn't just win. He dominates. He finishes over a minute ahead of the second-place car. It's his first Formula One victory, and it comes in conditions that would define his legend. In the rain, Ayrton Senna isn't just fast. He is untouchable. The press begin calling him the Rain Master. Over his career, he will win 6 out of 9 wet races he enters, a record that speaks not just to skill, but to an almost supernatural connection between man, machine, and the elements. In 1988, Senna joins McLaren alongside Alain Prost. Together, in the dominant MP404, they win 15 of the 16 races that season. But inside the team, a war is brewing. Two men with fundamentally different philosophies. Prost, the professor, calculates every risk. Senna, the artist, pushes beyond what seems possible. At Monaco qualifying, Senna enters a trance-like state, lapping 1.4 seconds faster than Prost in an identical car. He later describes an out-of-body experience, as if he has driven beyond the car's limits and into something transcendent. The rivalry explodes at Suzuka in 1989. Fighting for the championship, Prost turns into Senna at the chicane. Both cars collide and slide off. Prost climbs out. Senna restarts, rejoins, and wins the race, only to be disqualified by officials. The title goes to Prost. Senna is furious. He calls the decision political. The resentment festers. 1 year later, same circuit, same stakes, Senna takes his revenge. At the first corner of the 1990 Japanese Grand Prix, he drives straight into Prost's Ferrari. Both retire. Senna wins the championship. It is the most controversial moment in Formula One history, and Senna himself will later admit it was deliberate. 3 world championships in 4 years. 41 victories by 1993. But beyond the trophies, Senna has become something more than a racing driver. He is a force. Every qualifying lap is a statement of intent. 65 career pole positions, a record that will stand for over a decade. No one in Formula One history puts a car on pole like Ayrton Senna. His gift isn't just speed. It's the ability to find time that simply should not exist. But Senna is never just about winning. At the 1993 European Grand Prix at Donington Park, in conditions so treacherous that most drivers can barely see, Senna delivers what many consider the greatest first lap in racing history. Starting 5th, he passes 4 cars before completing a single lap, in the rain, on a track he barely knows. Even his rivals stop to watch. It isn't racing, it's art. At the 1991 Brazilian Grand Prix, his home race, Senna's gearbox fails with just laps to go. He is stuck in 6th gear. Most drivers would retire. Senna refuses. He muscles the car around Interlagos with raw physical strength, his arms burning with exhaustion. When he crosses the finish line in first place, he cannot lift the trophy. His body has given everything. He later says it is the most significant victory of his career, not because it was easy, but because it nearly broke him. Away from the track, few knew the depth of his compassion. At the 1992 Belgian Grand Prix, Eric Comas crashes heavily during qualifying. His car sits in the middle of the track, engine screaming, Comas unconscious. Senna is the first to arrive. He sprints from his own car, reaches into the cockpit, and turns off the engine, potentially saving Comas's life. What the public didn't know at the time is that Senna was also quietly channeling millions of dollars into education and healthcare for Brazil's poorest children. He never spoke about it publicly. The full scale of his charity would only be revealed after his death. (1994) Senna moves to Williams, the team that has dominated the previous 2 seasons. But the car is different now. Regulations have banned the active suspension and electronic aids that made the Williams so dominant. The FW16 is fast, but unpredictable. Michael Schumacher's Benetton wins the first 2 races. Senna, for the first time in years, looks vulnerable. Then comes Imola. The weekend is cursed from the start. On Friday, Rubens Barrichello suffers a horrifying crash at the Variani Bassa, his car launching over a curb and into the barriers at 140 miles per hour. He survives, barely. On Saturday, Austrian driver Roland Ratzenberger is killed when his front wing fails at Villeneuve Corner. He hits the wall at almost 200 miles per hour. It is the first death in Formula One in 12 years. Senna is devastated. That evening, he is seen weeping in his hotel room. He carries an Austrian flag, planning to unfurl it on the podium the next day in Roland's memory. Sunday, May the 1st, the San Marino Grand Prix begins with a start line accident that brings out the safety car. When racing resumes on lap 5, Senna leads. Michael Schumacher follows close behind. On lap 7, at Tamburello, the Williams snaps left and hits the concrete wall at 135 miles per hour. A piece of the suspension pierces his helmet. Ayrton Senna da Silva is pronounced dead at 6:18 in the evening. He is 34 years old. Three million people line the streets of Sao Paulo for his funeral. The Brazilian Air Force provides an escort. The government declares 3 days of national mourning. In the weeks and months that follow, Formula One is forced to confront its failures. The sport undergoes the most sweeping safety revolution in its history. Circuits are redesigned. Barriers are replaced with energy-absorbing technology. Survival cells are reinforced. The Hans device becomes mandatory. In a very real sense, every driver who walks away from a crash today owes their life, in part, to the lessons learned from losing Ayrton Senna. The Instituto Ayrton Senna, the charity he funded in secret, has now provided education to over 30 million young Brazilians. His yellow helmet is the most recognized symbol in all of motorsport. At every Brazilian Grand Prix, fans still raise his flag. Drivers from Lewis Hamilton to Max Verstappen cite him as their inspiration. Senna once said, "If you no longer go for a gap that exists, you are no longer a racing driver." He lived by those words, and he died by them. Ayrton Senna didn't just race cars. He redefined what it meant to be a champion. He is, and will remain, immortal. If this story moved you, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss the next chapter. Like this video if Senna still gives you goosebumps. And leave a comment with your favorite Senna moment.